Hey guys, thanks again for joining us. So for today's install, we're going to be covering the install of a RC2 LR on a 2015 and newer Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon. I am going to call out a couple key notes and pointers that are going to help you with the install as we work through this. One pointer I do want to make out is that for our particular vehicle that we're working on, it's a Z71, which already has the factory tail hooks that are exposed. If your vehicle doesn't have them, you're going to want to refer to the install guide, as it does require you to cut out the lower valance to expose the bracket. And we're going to go ahead and just cover a step-by-step tutorial to make this a quick and painless install, which should take you approximately about an hour or so. So let's get to the install. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the first two steps on this install. The first step you're going to want to do is remove the lower splash guard, and then the second step you're going to want to remove is the fender liner bracket, okay? So we're going to go ahead and jump to that. Now that we remove the lower splash guard, we're going to remove the lower fender liner bracket. So with those two covers off now, we now have access to jump to our next step, which is loosening the side bolts where the tow hook is, and then we can continue to do the install on our lower brackets, and then we'll proceed on to the next step. Alright guys, so we've already got those factory covers out of the way, so the next step is to install the lower bracket. But in order for us to do so, we are going to need to remove this factory foam cover, and the tow hook's going to have to come out. Keep in mind the tow hook goes back in place so you don't lose that functionality. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. the factory foam cover is out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and continue with the install by installing the lower bracket. Keep in mind for this step, you do need to add the 2 inner spacers, and then the bracket goes on top of it, and you're going to be reusing the existing hardware. Okay guys, so now that we have the factory tail hook removed and that factory foam cover removed, we're ready to go on to the next step. Keep in mind, this vehicle already came with factory tail hooks, so the cutout's already there. If your vehicle does not come with a factory tail hook, you're going to need to do a cutout here and use these side bracket spacers to push the bracket outward. Make sure you follow that step if you don't have the factory tail hooks. If not, the bracket's going to be pushed inward and it's not going to align correctly. And there we have it. So now that we have already done the passenger side, you're going to want to follow the same steps and do the driver's side. All right guys, so we went ahead and installed the driver's side bracket, and now we're ready to install our RC2 LR onto this. All right guys, so we've already installed the driver's side of the frame onto our Colorado, and we're going to install the passenger side. Okay, so what you're going to want to do now, you're going to want to go back and make sure you fasten all the hardware that you originally loosened. For instance, like where the tow hooks were, you want to go ahead and tighten up those 2 bolts, and then you're going to want to reverse the first steps we did, which was removing the splash guards and both driver and passenger side fender brackets. And then the last step, when you do this install, depending on the state you live in, you're going to want to reinstall the front license plate frame. We have included 2 elongated holes as a provision that will allow you to do this install, and you'll be legal when you're on the road. Thanks again for joining us.